Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take a whole heap of information and, well, we pull out the most important bits, the insights, the surprising stuff, really, just for you. Today, we're plunging into something we all do but maybe don't think about enough. Daily routines. We've got some really interesting source material here, looking closely at two quite different people and their daily habits.
Yeah, two distinct approaches.
Exactly. And our mission really is to compare them, see how they handle their mornings, their work days, their evenings. You know, how do these choices shape things for them?
And what can we maybe learn for ourselves?
That's it. What's relevant for your own day?
It's a really rich area to explore because these routines, they seem mundane, right? But they're kind of the foundation of everything.
Right.
And looking at how others manage their day, it highlights, well, the universal stuff, like that classic afternoon slump we all know.
Yeah, definitely know that one.
But it also shows these, like, really diverse solutions people come up with. It gets you thinking, maybe critically about your own patterns, might spark an idea, you know, an aha moment about some small tweak.
Okay, let's unpack this then. First things first, mornings. How does the day kick off for these two? Are we talking bright-eyed and bushy-tailed or something else?
Yeah, well.
Our source introduces Ben first, and let's just say he is absolutely not a morning person, his words.
Okay.
He actually calls himself the king of hitting the snooze button. So alarm goes off 6:30 a.m., but realistically, he's not getting out of bed until maybe 6:45.
15 minutes of snooze, a classic.
Pretty much. And the very first thing he does, straight for the phone, scrolls for about 10 minutes, news, email, social media. He says it's to sort of wake his brain up, admits it's probably a bad habit, though.
That immediate input. Interesting.
Then it's kitchen time, coffee, just a simple drip machine. And while that's brewing, he whips up a quick breakfast, like toast and avocado, maybe cereal. He stresses there's not a lot of time to spare.
Sounds rushed already.
Totally. He has to rush out the door by 7:30 because he needs to beat the traffic. He mentions a 30-minute drive can easily turn into an hour-long nightmare if he's late leaving.
Oof. That commute pressure really dictates things.
Big time. Now let's flip to Alex. Alex works from home, so different setup.
Right, no commute battle.
Alex wakes up maybe around 7 a.m., but here's the key difference. Tries not to look at the phone first thing.
Oh, interesting. Intentional avoidance.
Instead, first move is a big glass of water. Then about 10 minutes of stretching, says it helps me feel awake.
Okay, a more physical, mindful start.
In comes coffee time for Alex too, but it's different. Alex likes to, quote, savor the morning. Sits by the window, coffee, reads a few pages of a book.
Wow, quite a contrast to Ben's rush.
Isn't it? Laptop doesn't even get open until around 8:30 a.m.
So the immediate differences are pretty stark, aren't they? You've got Ben's whole morning shaped by that external pressure, the commute. It forces this, like, rushed, reactive start.
Yeah, reactive is a good word.
Whereas Alex, working from home, has that bit more luxury, I guess, to design a more relaxed, maybe proactive morning.
Right.
And those first actions, Ben's phone scroll versus Alex's water and stretching, it really highlights different ways to wake up the mind and body, you know.
Passive versus active.
Sort of. Ben's is passive consumption, potentially getting the brain whirring with stress or news right away. Alex's is more active, physical, mindful preparation.
And that idea of savoring the morning.
Yeah, it's not just about enjoying the coffee, is it? It feels like a deliberate choice. Engaging with the moment, setting a calmer tone before the workday chaos hits. That's a luxury Ben just doesn't seem to have.
It is a powerful distinction, though, you know, for someone like Ben who's already fighting the alarm, fighting the traffic, maybe that phone scroll feels like a necessary evil, a gentle way to ease in rather than hitting the ground running.
That's a really fair point. It might feel like easing in, but the question is, what kind of in are you easing into? You know, research often suggests that diving straight into emails, news, that kind of thing, can actually spike stress hormones first thing.
Huh.
So even if it feels gentle, it might be setting a more reactive tone for the whole day. Alex's way, probably takes more discipline initially, not grabbing the phone.
Definitely.
But it creates space, intentionality, presence. Before all the demands start flooding in, it's really about deciding how you want your brain to engage first.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so let's move into the main part of the day, the work day, the afternoon. How do things look for Ben once he gets to the office?
Right, the workday grind.
For Ben, that first hour, it's all about catching up on emails, getting through the inbox.
Clearing the decks.
Then, 10 a.m., there's a daily team meeting. Standard stuff, discuss projects, get everyone on the same page.
Sync up time.
After that meeting, Ben tries to hit the most important task of the day, uses that morning energy, when his brain is sharpest, for the hard stuff.
Smart. Eat the frog, as they say.
Exactly. Lunch for Ben, though, is described as quick. Around 1 p.m., he either brings something in or just grabs a sandwich, often eats at his desk. Why? To save time.
Ah, the desk lunch.
Yeah, and he even acknowledges he should probably take a proper break. But, time saving wins out.
You hear that a lot.
Now, Alex, working from home, handles lunch differently. Always takes a full hour, cooks something fresh, calls it a nice way to step away from the computer screen.
The proper disconnect. That feels significant.
Very different vibe. But here's something they share. That afternoon slump. Both Ben and Alex hit it around 3 p.m., feeling tired and unfocused.
Yes, the universal 3 p.m. wall.
So how do they cope? Ben's strategy: gets up, walks around a bit, grabs another coffee. His goal is to power through.
Okay, push through it.
Alex's strategy: different. Switches gears. Moves to easier tasks. Things like organizing files, answering emails that aren't urgent. Less brain power needed.
Interesting. Working with the slump, not against it.
Yeah. Then for Ben, the day wraps up between 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m., trying to wrap up projects, make a quick to-do list for the next day, and then back into the commute.
So this part really shows some classic productivity tactics, right? Ben tackling the big stuff when he's sharpest. That's solid strategy.
Standard advice, yeah.
But the lunch break contrast is, well, it's really telling. Ben's saving time versus Alex's deliberate hour away. It makes you ask, what's the hidden cost of always saving time like that?
You mean like burnout?
Yeah, or just reduced effectiveness later on.
Yeah.
That constant desk lunching might feel efficient short term, but maybe it chips away at creativity, focus, overall energy over the long haul. Alex's hour isn't just eating.
It's a reset.
Exactly. A mental reset, which counterintuitively could actually make the rest of the afternoon more productive, not less.
Interesting trade-off.
And then that afternoon slump. Same problem, two very different solutions. Ben uses stimulants, movement, tries to override the body's signal, just power through.
Brute force method?
Kind of. While Alex pivots, shifts to lower gear work. And while Ben's way might feel like getting more done right now, the deeper thing here is sustainability.
Right. Can you keep powering through day after day?
Exactly. Constantly using caffeine or just sheer will to push past energy dips might lead to a bigger energy debt down the line. Alex's way, switching tasks, acknowledges that natural ebb and flow of focus. It conserves the heavy-duty brain power for when it's actually available. It's less about grinding and more about intelligent energy management, maybe.
So is it always better to switch tasks then? Or is there still a place for just gritting your teeth and pushing through, especially, when deadlines are real?
Oh, absolutely. That's a great question. There are definitely times when you just have to push. Deadlines loom, projects need finishing. Grit is necessary sometimes. But the danger, I think, is when powering through becomes the default, the only tool in the toolbox. If you're constantly overriding those signals, you build up this, cognitive debt. And eventually that bill comes due.
Burnout city.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or just lower quality work, more mistakes. Alex's approach is maybe more about working with your natural energy cycles. Recognizing not all tasks need peak focus and aligning them strategically. It might not feel as heroic, maybe, but it's often more sustainable long term.
Okay, that makes sense. Sustainable energy management. So the workday is done. Let's talk evenings. How do Ben and Alex shift gears? How do they unwind?
The transition phase. Crucial.
For Ben, first hurdle is the commute home again, which, as he notes, can be draining, often stuck in traffic.
Yeah, bookending the day with potential stress.
He gets home around 6:30 p.m., and the very first thing he does, changes out of work clothes. He says this really helps him mentally switch off from work mode, helps him decompress.
Ah, a ritual, a clear boundary marker. That's smart.
Then, around 7:30 p.m., he and his wife usually cook together. He calls this a nice way to catch up on their day.
Connection, shared activity. Good stuff.
After dinner, they chill on the couch, binge watch a show. The source mentions The Crown.
Okay, decompression via screen time.
Yeah. And he admits he's usually on his phone right up until he goes to sleep. Knows it's not ideal.
That late night screen habit again.
His goal is bed by 11 p.m. Says he needs 7 to 8 hours or he feels useless the next day. So sleep is important to him, even with the phone habit.
Acknowledges the need, struggles with the wind down. Common dilemma.
Now, Alex's evening finishes work around 6 p.m., then often tries to hit the gym or go for a run.
Exercise.
And finds that exercising really helps clear my head and believes it gives me more energy in the long run.
Using physical activity to transition and de-stress? Different approach.
After that, Alex has a late dinner. And then here's another key difference. Tries to wind down without a scream, reads a book, maybe listens to a podcast, finds it helps me sleep better.
The screen-free wind down. Deliberate again.
Alex also aims for bed around 11 p.m., so same bedtime goal, different path to get there.
Yeah, the evening routines show really different ways of handling that work-life transition. Ben uses the clothes change, the cooking together. Those are great, tangible ways to signal work is over. Creates a boundary.
That's right, clear signals.
Alex uses exercise, which is also a powerful mental cleanser, plus the physical benefits, the long-term energy boost.
Two valid strategies for switching off initially.
Exactly, but the really stark contrast is the late evening, the wind down itself. Ben's screen time right up to sleep versus Alex's screen-free zone.
Yeah, that feels like the biggest divergence.
And while, crashing on the couch to binge watch feels like such a necessary escape sometimes, especially after a draining day like Ben's.
Totally relatable.
The science around blue light is pretty clear, isn't it? It can really mess with melatonin, impact sleep quality, how rested you actually feel.
So even if you get the hours in, the quality might suffer.
That's the concern.
But hang on, for someone who's just completely wiped out, like Ben might be after that commute and the workday, isn't zoning out with a show exactly what feels needed, just to stop thinking. Is it always a bad trade-off, or is there a middle ground?
That's like the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Feels good in the moment, it's easy, low-effort escape.
Yeah.
But the insight maybe lies in the quality of that escape or that switch off. Does passive stimulating screen time actually allow your brain to truly power down and prepare for restorative sleep?
Maybe not.
Or does it just keep it buzzing in a different way? Alex's choice reading, listening to a podcast, it's still engaging, but it's generally far less stimulating. It allows for a gentler slope into sleep.
A different kind of disengagement.
Right. So yeah, it's probably a trade-off. Immediate comfort versus potentially better sleep and consequently better next day energy, focus, mood, which then loops back into how you handle the next day's stresses.
It's all connected.
It really is. Both Ben and Alex know they need their sleep. But their strategies for getting there are really different, and Alex's approach, arguably, might be building a more sustainable foundation for overall well-being in the long run.
Okay, so we've kind of journeyed through the whole day for both Ben and Alex. We've reached the end of our deep dive for today.
Yeah, it's been fascinating to compare.
It really has. We've seen how these routines, which seem ordinary on the surface, are packed with choices. Some deliberate, some maybe unconscious, and they really shape the day, don't they?
Absolutely. And the key takeaway, I think, isn't that there's one perfect routine everyone should follow, because there isn't.
Right. Context matters. Personality matters.
Exactly. What works for Alex might not work for Ben, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But understanding the impact of specific habits, how you start the morning, how you take breaks, how you wind down that understanding gives us power.
Power to choose more consciously.
Precisely. To make more informed choices about structuring our own time.
Yeah.
And realizing that even really small adjustments, if you do them consistently, can add up. They can have a surprisingly big effect over time on energy, focus, just general quality of life.
So thinking about all of this, what does it mean for you listening right now? As you reflect on Ben's rush and Alex's savoring, their work styles, their evenings, maybe consider this. What's one small, maybe mindful adjustment you could experiment with in your own daily routine? Not necessarily to be hyper productive, but maybe just to feel a bit more present, a bit more restored. Something you could try now you've seen these different paths.
That's a great thought to leave people with. Experimentation.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks so much for joining us. Keep exploring, keep learning, keep discovering.